everybody, it's VerticalSandwich. Welcome back to Let's Play Dragon Quest XI. We are in the Academy of Metals, or metals. Can't open the janitor closet there. Okay, fair enough. Listen to me, girls. You must never set foot in the Eerie. The entire path of the east is strictly interdicted. It is forbidden. It is forbidden to go there. The valley is ruled over by a cruel and covetous Elysian bird. If ever that feathered fiend sees anything shiny, he seizes it in his talons and takes it home to his nest. If you should catch sight of the twinkle of your beautiful eyes, girls, those orbs are brilliant. You would surely think the priceless jewels and pluck them from your heads. If you do not believe me about the orbs that places, there is a book in the bibliothèque that will tell you all the gruesome details. I advise you to read it from cavache to cavache. This back area makes this look a lot like the We Love Katamari classroom. I got a classroom stage, I suppose. Alright. I'm the biggest bookworm in the academy. I read every single volume in this library from cover to cover. If you're looking for an interesting read, I can highly recommend All the Glitters is Soon Gone. It's all about Elysian bird. It's all about the Elysian bird that lives in the valley to the east. Alright, well. It's a book called All That Glitters is Soon Gone, A Tale of Condors and Criminality. Deep in the eastern reaches of the Champs Sauvage, a secluded valley sits high in the mountains. The locals call it the Eerie, for it is the nesting place of that most infernal of flying fiends, the Elysian bird. Like many of its smaller avian cousins, the bird shows a compulsive interest in objects that twinkle and glitter, and will roam far and wide in search of such treasure. The most egregious example of this behavior occurred quite recently when a particularly aggressive individual attacked a nearby manor house. The beast tore through the very roof of the building and made away with a large silver orb, the most priceless heirloom of the noble family who dwelt there. The monster was thought to have taken the orb back to the Eerie, but a party sent to recover it never returned. It seems likely that both they and the treasure they sought will never be seen again. Okay. Tons of books to read here, people. It looks like the previous year's student register. There's a list of all kinds of weird, wonderful names, followed by a note saying that the register for the next school year will be compiled soon. I want weird and wonderful names. I demand them. It's an old book entitled The Medal-Winning Wisdom of Lady Minette Maximilian. Mes chéries, if ever you are lost as to how to be perfect little ladies, I ask you to do one thing for me. Remember the example of the mini-medal hunt. What is the first thing we do when we set out in search of our little friends? That's right, we unroll our trusty world maps and think carefully about where we will begin our search. In other words, we exercise our knowledge of the world and our powers of reason. It is these two things on which all our actions are mature, thoughtful ladies must be based. To discover mini-medals is to discover the world, and this is why we seek them out. Because to be a woman in this day and age means to be a thinker and a doer par excellence. Well, that's actually kind of cool. I mean, I like the idea that they're teaching women to be thinkers and doers. That's awesome. A recipe book, next level neckwear. Stars of clarity, necklaces of immunity, and full moon collars. Rousing rose collars, care rivieres, and torques of truth. Protective pendants and chokers of riddance and dogged collars. And papillon pendants. Papillon pendants. Perfect picnics for monster riding mademoiselles. A skull rider's steed is fast and strong, but not so fast that the rider's tummy doesn't start to rumble before he reaches his destination. Anyone who travels on monster back knows it's a hungry work. Which is why, whenever I set out to see the world atop Monster Mount, I make sure to pack a hearty lunch. 2 large rounds of sandwiches and a pot of coffee with 3 lumps of sugar and plenty of milk. The perfect traveler's picnic. With that in my knapsack, I'm ready to sit back and watch the world go by in style, knowing that I have a real treat awaiting me when hunger strikes. Useless information. Alright. We're halfway through the room. Switch opens the book at random and sees the word jackpot printed in large letters on the page. It must be his lucky day. One second. Oh, so apparently that book is a reference to a book in Dragon Quest VIII that had the same thing in it, except sometimes it was translated into "Have a nice day," so you may not get the reference. There, that's what I wanted to check, was to see if it influenced casino luck at all. It does not. Just jackpot. Okay, there's a book called The Seven Wonders of l'Académie de Notre Maître des Médailles. Okay. Wonder number 7, the mysterious rose of the window, a student slain in a terrible accident. That spirit, once a pupil of l'Académie, is doomed not only to remain in our world, but to remain in the very spot where she met her untimely death. She appears in the prep rooms at night and is never seen anywhere else. Her mournful face can be seen staring from the windows on cold and lonely evenings. At what she gazes, only she can know. Perhaps she still dreams of graduating, something she could never do, and of the chance to go out and see the big wide world. She's a quest, actually. Like, there's a girl in here at night who, yeah, she's a ghost. Okay, King Charlemagne's maximally marvelous idea. So long before the Metal King ever became a king, he lived only for his beloved mini-medals. Gathering as many of his little golden friends as he could was all he cared about. But the moment he held his newborn daughter in his arms, something changed. Suddenly, he found himself caring about someone else's happiness. He wanted the best for his little girl, no matter what it took. For 3 days and 3 nights, he racked his brain, trying to think how he might ensure that the princess grew to be a wise, graceful, beautiful woman who loved mini-medals just as much as he did. Then on the morning of the 4th day, as he performed his daily exercises, specifically tailored to help him seek out mini-medals, of course, he had an idea. Eureka, he shouted, I shall create a school where young ladies can learn the wonders of mini-medals. And so l'Académie de Notre Maître des Médailles was born. Okay, alright. How many we got left? Just the one, okay. And a recipe book, fine and dandy designs. Smart suits, posh waistcoats, and bling-bling belts. Cool. Cool. Okay, we were going this way. Alright, so this is a locked red door room. And here's the shop. So you can buy... Oh, this is the Perfectionist Pearl shop, so we can buy Perfectionist Pearls. Safety goggles! Ridiculously thick glasses that make it much harder to mesmerize the wearer. So yeah, there is a shop here, and they sell red eyes, blue eyes, yellow eyes, green eyes, and purple eyes, so... Yep, things to note. Because a lot of recipes will really need those. But other than that, it's kind of... Alright. Behind the scenes. Alright, Seed of Life. Ah, you must be the voyager Monsieur Medal told me of. I am Madame de Beauvoir, Vice Principal de l'Académie. Perhaps you might be able to help me with une enquête privée, a private investigation. I was tidying the bookshelf in the bibliothèque the other day when I made a strange discovery. In amongst the old and dusty textbooks, I found a diary. I thought it was probably left behind by an ex-étudiante, a girl who had once studied here, so I had a petite peep inside, but what I found there was encore curieux, very strange indeed. Curiouser. Tell me, Voyager, will you help me get to the bottom of this little mystery? And, yeah. Merci, Voyager. Thank you very much, bon goes. Let me tell you what was written in this journal. Ere I will buy my memories, where the shadow of the birch trees that we dreamed beneath stretches in the evening light. All that I leave behind, I leave to you, my dearest friend. It may be merely my imagination, but I cannot help thinking that this message is meant for me. When we were little girls, my best friend and I would often sit on the swings beneath the old birch branches and speak of what our lives would be like when we were grands persons. If this message is from Earth, then I must know what it means. What is buried out there in the jargon? I would go and search myself, but alas, during the day I am busy with my work, and at night I cannot see where I am digging. If you would search the jargon in my stead, I would be très obligé. Very grateful indeed. Eh bien, allow me to read the message to you encore une fois. Ere I will bury my memories, where the shadow of the birch tree that we dream beneath stretches in the evening light. All that I leave behind, I leave to you, my dearest friend. Okay, a memorable mystery. Okay, so that's quest the first. And on our way out to solve this quest, we're going to encounter another quest that bothers me. And the reason it bothers me is because of the sprite for the person we take the quest from. So, this lady over here, like this girl, she never stands up. And, she just looks like she looks like something from the movie The Grudge. I'm Zazie, the leader of the roughest, toughest girl gang in the academy. We live by a single rule: don't do bad things to good people, but stuff the rest of them. Problem is, I've gone and broken it. Have you met Madame Wallop, my form teacher? She's one of the good guys, but I accidentally stole her favorite whip and threw it down the you know. She might seem to be all sweetness and light, but when she gets angry, she's seriously scary. If she finds out what I've done, she'll have my guts for garters. If I could get a replacement, I might be able to get out of this without too much trouble, but it turns out you can only make them with a fun-sized forge. I might as well face it, I'm stuffed! Hold on, you're some kind of globe-trotting adventurer, right? You haven't happened to pick up a fun-sized forge on your travels, have you? If you have, it would be amazing if you could help me out. Will you make me a new whip for Madame Wallop? Okay, thanks a million. Let's get started then, shall we? I found a set of instructions for making the same type of whip in the library. Here you go. So, lashings of class. Queen's whips. Madame Wallop's a classy lady, so a bog standard one won't cut the mustard. Sorry to be a pain, but I'm gonna need a +1 version or better if I'm gonna make it out of this alive. Oh, and don't even think of equipping it yourself. If she finds out a boy's head has grubby mitts all over her special whip, there'll be hell to pay. My life's in your hands, adventurer. Forge me a whip for a queen and let me make amends. So yeah, what's going on with this? What's she doing? Okay, I found a memory box. So that solves that quest. Not even kidding, that's how easy that quest is. Hello, Voyager. Did you find anything in the Zarjan? And yes. You found this box? What is inside it, I wonder? Let me have a little look. And she opens the box and finds a red ribbon and a letter inside. She unfolds the letter and begins to read. By the time you read this, I will be far, far away. The Crown Prince of Heliodor has asked for my hand in marriage, and I cannot refuse him. I am to be a queen, so I cannot think only of my own happiness anymore. My kingdom and my people must come first. I am afraid that I will no longer be myself. But even though I may change, I will always carry the wonderful memories of the day we shared together in my heart. I will never forget you. So I beg you, dear friend, do not forget me. Remember the girl I was and know that you will always be ma meilleure amie, mon ami sûr, my best friend, my soulmate. I give you my ribbon as a token of our eternal friendship. You always said how much you liked it. Now it is yours. Ah, so it is true. It is a letter from, my dearest friend. Oh, from my dearest friend. She was the prettiest girl in the school. La plus belle fille de l'académie. The long, beautiful black hair that she always tied back with that bright red ribbon. On the day of our graduation, I learned that she was to be married to the prince of a faraway kingdom. I felt so betrayed. We had such a terrible argument. That was the last time I ever saw her. I heard she gave birth to a daughter, but was taken ill soon after the child was born and passed away. I have always regretted what happened that night. We should not have fought. She was happy. I should have been happy for her. So many years have passed since those jours de rêve, the dreamlike days we spent together, but I have thought about my belle amie every day since we said au revoir. Merci, Voyager. I thank you for bringing us together once more. Voila, take a ribbon as your reward. When my friend was a jeune fille, she wore it in her beautiful hair, but I am an old woman now. I must follow her lead and let go of childish things. Let your companion wear it instead. She is très belle too, with long black hair, just like that of my friend. I'm sure it will suit her just as much as it did my belle amie. So, we get the Belle's Bow. And it's from Jade's mom. So, how can we not? Because, you know, I'm sentimental. Think about that movie Cemetery Man, which nobody has ever seen. Where he, like, buries the two bodies together, and he's like, now they'll always be together. And his, like, assistant looks at him, he's like, what? I'm sentimental. Alright, we found another mini-medal. Alright, so many mini-medals. Okay, a book! There's a book called Jolly Songs for Jolly Girls. Grubby Grubby Grublins, a traditional Zardrustian folk song. Don't be shy, sing along. Grubby Grubby Grublins, so small, strange, and lumpy. Grubby Grubby Grublins, some are gloomy, some are grumpy. Gloomy Grublins, always sad. Grumpy Grublins, always mad. Come on, little Grublins. Oh, it's not so bad. Grubby 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 Grublins. Okay. A bling bling belt. It's a nice room. Alright, a story entitled I Love to Hate You, a Schoolyard Scandal. Standing in the unkept field behind the school, the wind playing with the crimson scarf wrapped tightly around her neck and tossing her auburn hair, Emily's eyes burned with barely concealed rage. Finally, Matilda appeared. The two girls locked eyes. The stalk of an unripe cherry poked from the corner of Matilda's mouth. You took your time, Emily! Her voice was harsh, almost screaming. Don't speak with your mouth full, Matilda, Emily snapped back. You know how I hate that. You wouldn't want to make me angry now, would you? Matilda grinned her wicked grin and spat the cherry pip high into the air, where it soared in a lazy arc. And it was then that Emily realized the moment the pip hit the ground would mark the start of the fateful final fight between these two long-standing rivals. To be continued. Will Emily survive? What will happen to Matilda? Read the stunning conclusion in next month's issue, The Scarlet Scarf's Farewell. Okay, feathered cap. Oh, hello there. My name is Priscilla. I have a problem, a secret anguish that I can't tell any of my classmates. You look like a tight-lipped sort of fellow. If I share my deepest, darkest secret with you, will you promise not to tell anyone? Okay, yes. Wow, thank you so much. Now, have you heard of Le Mini Monde? It's our school newsletter. Well, I heard that Madame Cherie was starting a new column offering advice to the Lovelorn, so I wrote a letter to ask her about my secret passion. But I'm too afraid to read her answer. What if she says that he'll never be mine? My heart would break clean in two. That's why I need someone to read it for me, but I can't ask any of my classmates. They can never know the unfathomable depth of my desire. Which is where you come in. Could you go and read this month's issue of Le Mini Monde for me and see what Madame Cherie says I should do? You'll find it pinned up on the notice board in the gallery overlooking Monsieur Medal's study. If you can't see it, just ask Bastien, the editor. She's a hammerhood, and you should be able to spot her easily enough. She'll be able to tell you where to find it. Okay, this is not as easy as it seems. And we still have half of the upstairs of this place to explore. So when we come back, bye everybody.